Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. It's me in Vancouver Island with my buddy Kirk. You know him as Gweilo 60. You know him as the beer drinker. You know him as the park lover. I love a good park, eh?
I love a good.
You know, you walk around the parks and there's just
parks are
such a nice
parks
thing.
are so good because, well, but here you can't be drinking beer in the park in Canada.
Oh, you can't be drinking beer in Canada in the parks?
Well, you see, that's,
you need to go back to China. You know, you go to China, you can drink the beer right or rocking around the parks.
What you need to do is you need to get one of those Coca-Cola covers for your beer can. See, Canadians.
You need to use your noggin.
Yeah, we're not very cute, but we are smart beer drinkers.
Hey, in this video, I wanted to talk about something, and I thought you'd be a good person to talk about.
Yeah, I'll give you my point of view. My opinion is out there.
You never give your point of view, so I thought this was a one opportunity for Kirk and Kirkin.
That's just like saying crime in China.
You put on the news and you start looking at like the perception of China, the perception of, in this case, Russia, the perception of all these things, and there is this innate fear, this unquenchable desire to fear socialism and communism.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it is like, it's almost as if they're hiding under the bed and they're going to go and snatch you and your children and your dog and drag you to hell.
Well, I think that they will. The communist threat has been real since Russia and the United States in the Cold War, and you see how many countries Russia invaded, and you see how many countries the United States has invaded, and then you look at communist China that isn't communist.
Truly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're capitalists. It's all just a farce. The only reason that they do that is because they don't want you to be like them. They don't want you to see how good they have it over there. You got it better than they do because your politicians and your mainstream media tells you you've got it better than they do.
What's the thing your parents used to tell you when you were younger? Like, live life by example. If you're a good person, then you will show other people that you are good. If you develop the better mousetrap, then that better mousetrap will in turn become more popular. Like America, like you build the better product, you do the better engine, you do the better system, and then that system will in turn become the more popular one. So it always bugged me, especially when I went to China and I started seeing how China worked and how people lived there and how they're not like scared of capitalism. If communism and socialism and all of these isms were such a bad way to go, then why do we fight all of these wars? Why do we put so much energy into destroying them, into repressing them? If they're such bad systems, wouldn't they just fizzle out and be replaced by something that you create? It seems to me like a lot of the engagements that we have, especially in rebuke to these sort of other systems that aren't the Western system, are like, it's such a cop-out. We invest all this money in the military, all this money in these ventures to try to squash a system, instead of saying, well, why don't you just try my system? My system is better. Wouldn't that be a much better way to do it rather than start a war and then chastise and everything?
Well, I think that they've taken the word freedom too far. We're doing it for freedom. We're doing it for you.
You're free to do exactly what we want you to do. If you're not doing what we want you to do, that's.
Well, we're helping you have a free future. Look at it. You remember Iraq back before the Americans got a hold of it? It was like a really nice country. They had nice cities. People were living a regular life. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're willing to go in and ruin the lives of millions of people, cost millions of lives actually, for their ideology, whether their ideology is even the right way to go or not, because you see now the Western world is basically in a decline and the Eastern world is getting richer. Yeah. Which one is the best way to go?
I mean, as an American, I was taught from a very young age that the Russians, communism
are bad.
I mean, not just bad, like evil. Like it is, it's so evil that we need to exercise whatever we can, build as many bombs, build as many planes, build up as strong as we can, because this is going to take us over. And I always ate that up like, well, that's just the way it is.
Better dead than red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had this idea, at least I did, that we need to do whatever we can to prevent those systems from overtaking us.
Taking over the world.
Really, where have they really taken over? I mean, it's just another form of government, and it has its positive, it has its negatives.
Well,
and
they all do.
And they all do. But is it, it's just sort of funny, because travel does that. Because as soon as you start traveling, you start actually seeing these places firsthand.
And then
you're like, wait a second, this is bullshit,
Yeah. You get to see all of the people that have traveled to China, except for
most,
except for a few that have no brain.
Yeah.
They see that China isn't what they thought it was.
Yeah.
Like when I went to China the first time, I was thinking, "Oh no, this is communist China."
Yeah.
But now that I know the real China, it's like anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at some debates in American politics, and the word socialism is thrown out as if it's like some sort of they're accusing people who aren't even socialist of being socialists in a way that they should hate. I wish some of our politicians were a bit more socialistic. That would be pretty good,
Well, you see, there's no punishment in the current political system for lying to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Misleading, lying.
Well, that's just it. Disinformation seems to be the word of the day, or the way that they deal with conflict.
Yeah.
Just try to make the other side look really bad.
Yeah.
And then that makes us look better. And
and
it works.
It does. It does.
Works,
you go around America right now, and people are so confused. Like the topic I'm talking about, like communism and socialism. They think.
Get the back.
Yeah. I'm actually shooting the wrong way. This is a much better way to shoot.
There we go.
That's better. People are so propagandized here.
Well, even I was talking to my brother the other day, and I was sticking up for China because he was saying, well, the Chinese could have done this with the COVID, and they didn't tell the world, and they hid it, and I says, you're getting that information from mainstream media. I said, it's not that way. It's like they were doing the best they could with the information that they had at the time. If that would have happened anywhere else in the world, it would have been way worse. He basically hung up on me because he didn't want to believe
it doesn't work with his. It doesn't fit inside his worldview.
Well, he's been told over and over and over again that this is the way it is.
Yeah.
So that disinformation from and it comes from the highest levels of government.
Yeah.
That's the disturbing part about it, is the highest levels of government are lying to their people so that their people will think it's okay if whenever they have to go to war, they can.
Yeah.
If they go to war with China, or they go to war with Russia, they go to war because those guys are bad, and the people will say, yeah, they're bad, so let's because that's what they've been taught. They don't know any better.
Yeah, however you believe about this Russia and Ukraine thing, there are any loss of life is bad. I think it's disgusting. I could see people being influenced on false premises. Let's focus on the real issues at hand instead of like it's a stopping of communism, or it's a stopping of socialism, or it's corruption. It's power hungry individuals. It's not communism and socialism.
Well, you see, what I understand about this whole thing is that back when the USSR sort of fell apart back in the 90s, they made a pact with the Western world that NATO would take over Eastern Germany and reunite Germany, but that's as far as NATO would go. Then they went into the Baltic states, and then they're wanting to move into Georgia and Ukraine and stuff. So they went back on their word, and this is what pissed Russia off to the point that they occupied the Ukraine, they invaded the Ukraine. So, if being an American, if the United States had problems like Russia did, or the USSR did back in those days, Russia came in and took over all of the countries in Central America, Baltic states, and then they had their eye on Mexico, and they were going to put in their form of government, their missiles on the border of the United States. What do you think the United States would do?
Well, I would think that that would be America's fault, just like it's Russia's fault for not courting your neighbors better and not being a better neighbor.
Well,
Because I don't think Mexico would fall to Russia if America wasn't not being a good neighbor to Mexico enough for Russia to kind of squeeze in there. You know, I think it's more about playing the game. You know.
Well, you could. Oh,
There's a plane. There's a plane coming in. It's gonna be a fun thing to fly around. Anyways.
Oh, come on, guys. You're overdoing it there. He's just looking for attention, eh? But okay, you say, well, if it would be America's fault, but you mean build the wall? You mean taking
but you're building
California, Arizona, and Texas away from Mexico in a border war? You mean you need things like this?
Well, certainly there have been things in the past that have happened that, like this whole. I get a lot of that whataboutism talk. You know,
but
how would you feel?
Okay, what about building a wall between the United States and Mexico?
As long as America does it on their soil, then there's nothing anybody else could say about it.
But wouldn't it?
That's the Americans' job to say.
Isn't there a better way to deal with that?
Yeah, but it's America's job to deal with it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
That's the difference between Americans and Canadians. Like, we would never build a wall.
Well, I would not want Americans to. I don't approve of that wall at all. But if we chose to build it collectively, or if the government decided to build it, then it's up to us as Americans to say no, we shouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I approve of the wall.
To keep those, what did Trump call them?
Rapists, murderers.
Murderers, drug dealers out of our country. You know, and you're painting a whole society with one brush.
Yeah.
And the top person in your country
is
at
the
that
one making
time
those decisions.
Was doing that.
Yeah.
You see, so if as anything else, if your leaders are those type of people, the smaller people will follow the lead of the leader. So if the leaders are good people that have compassion and do the right thing
working
all the time,
on behalf of the people.
That'll filter down to the rest of the society, and I think the Americans have a problem with that at this point. I think Canadians really have a problem with that at this point. Russians have a problem with that at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of people do. A lot of countries do.
A lot of countries do.
Yeah.
China's no different. They could do a lot of things better. You know, dealing with old people, like seniors' homes and stuff like that. But again, they're a developing country. They've got a lot of room to move to make life better for people. But it all comes down to the leaders doing the right things.
Yeah. All right, guys.
That's my opinion.
That's his 2 cents. Two. What do they call them?
Actually,
Loonies, right?
Actually,
Lunas?
it's 3 cents.
What do they call?
2 cents in the States.
They call them loonies, right? Here.
Loonies, yeah.
Loonies. That's a couple of. That's
toonies.
That's Gweilo giving you a couple of loonies.
Or toonies. I think I might have a toonie.
Eh?
Let's see.
Oh golly, gee willikers.
Just a second. Oh, look at this. This is a toonie. That's $2. And that's a loonie. And you see the loon on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got. You guys still don't have like dollars. Like you got like paper money still, right?
Yeah. We got like our pennies. We still have pennies.
But do you have dollar coins and $2 coins?
And we have dollar coins, but nobody uses them.
No.
Yeah.
See, we don't have $1 and $2 paper money anymore.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Check out Gweilo 60.
Gweilo 60's channel.
They're fighting.
Oh yeah, they'll
They're chasing. Hey.
It's so big that he's so slow that they can.
Yeah. I want to see him go for another. He must have taken a baby or something, huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
8 seagulls.
Dog eat dog world, bird eat bird world. Where are we now?
I don't even know the name of this park. It's basically downtown Nanaimo.
Yeah.
But you've got.
It's really pretty here.
Over on this side, you got Gabriel Island over here. You got. You can just come down here, throw a crab trap in, with a little bit of rotten chicken. Catch a whole bunch of crab, take them home, boil them up. It's
Wow.
This is you can actually. There's places. I'll take it.
Those are oysters. The coast is full of thousands of oysters.
Well, I'll take you to a place in a little while where
Like
you can
Gweilo.
just go down and you can pick up 1 million oysters if you want, just right off the ground.
Yeah.
Because tide goes out, they leave the oysters there. People pick up the oysters.
Is it tied in or is it tied out right now? I think it's got some rising to go, so
yeah,
it's not. It's like half.
Yeah, half and
Slack
half
time?
and half. But we'll go out by Piper's Lagoon or even Departure Bay, not too far from here, where the ferry came in. See shit like that
Those
everywhere.
are one wheels.
Yeah.
One wheels.
Then you can just go and get as many as you want as far as oysters.
Yeah.
And up by Parksville, they've got a flat that Manila clams.
I never heard of Manila
Well,
clams.
they're just a little clam that you pick them, you put them in just salt water, and they spit out all of the sand.
Okay.
Leave them for a couple of days.
Is that the ones we have in China?
Yeah.
Like
The
tons
ones
of,
that
you
little
can almost eat them.
Well,
Like I eat the whole clam.
Well,
You just crush them in your mouth.
well, no, you have to take the
Somehow. Yeah. I like those. Those are good.
but you go to the wet markets. Those are the ones that are all spitting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You
these are
can't
the
eat those.
No, these are the Manila clams. But you get people going up there, and they fill up 5-gallon pails full of Manila clams in an afternoon.
Do you have to pay anybody for them, or is it?
Oh,
All right, I'm just saying.
you don't even need a license to do that.
Wow.
So you just this is Vancouver.
I like this neighborhood.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
nice.
And you see
Oh,
over there,
a
you got
plane.
the planes.
biplanes taking off and landing.
Well, you see what that is. It's a service between here and downtown Vancouver.
Oh, taxis. How long's the flight? I took the ferry. Was
15 minutes.
ferry was 2 hours. Plane is 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and I think $120.